Hey there. Recently there's been some news involving Star Wars and Civil War, so I'm just going to do a quick video because there's not much to really talk about either in a single video, so I'm just going to merge them together. So this is going to be a little bit of a sort of Disney roundup. So here it is. So recently Disney had a convention called D23. In this they spoke about a lot of their animated products, but they also spoke about their live action products. Now if you didn't know, Disney owns Star Wars and Marvel, so both Civil War was touched on and Star Wars Episode 7. Now I'm going to start off by talking about Star Wars. At D23 they showed a few images off showing sort of the main characters of the film. Also yesterday we got about a 10-second teaser on Instagram for the new Star Wars film. It's a lot of what we've seen already, except just one shot of John Boyega sort of holding, breaking everything. Let me try that again. It's sort of just one extra shot of John Boyega holding a lightsaber like that. It's a blue one, so we know he's a good guy. Also, John Boyega's holding a lightsaber in a winter setting, which is a follow-on from that scene of someone holding sort of a lightsaber, which is red. I think it's Kylo Ren, so that's an implication that they're probably going to be fighting each other. I think John Boyega probably is going to be the main Jedi in this film. And also interesting, J.J. Abrams has stated Kylo Ren is not a Sith. That's an interesting thing to hear, but it sort of reinforces that theory that he's just sort of a regular person who finds a lightsaber who's just got a lot of aggression. Also, I'm still convinced that that voiceover at the start of the Star Wars trailer is Benedict Cumberbatch. It sounds exactly like him. There's been an awakening. Can you feel it? I wouldn't be surprised that when I go to watch Star Wars, just like right at the very end, there's just going to be a scene where Benedict Cumberbatch just turns around and you just see his face. I'd adore that. I love the guy. He's a fantastic actor. I'd love to see him in the Star Wars universe. But until now, nothing. I mean, of course, with him being Doctor Strange, it sort of knocks that on the head a little bit, because the guy's going to be so busy doing Star Wars and then things for Marvel, and he's never going to have time to do any other projects, which I know he really does, because he's going to be hunting for an Oscar sometime soon. Also, they announced a spin-off film from the Star Wars series called Star Wars Rogues. Now, Star Wars Rogues stars Donnie Yen. This is something I've wanted to see for a while now. If you don't know who Donnie Yen is, you need to watch Ip Man. Ip Man is probably the best foreign film I've ever seen. Now, I know there's going to be a lot of people out there who are going to say there's going to be a lot of intelligent films out there a lot better than Ip Man, and that Ip Man's just a martial arts film. But Ip Man is probably the foreign film that I've had the most fun with. If you haven't seen it and you are into martial arts, I'd question why, and then I'd advise that you go and watch it immediately. Once you've seen this film, you'd understand why I'm so excited to see Donnie Yen finally doing some things in America. Now that's pretty much it for Star Wars. They've still not released that much to say the film's going to be out in December, but I like that. I want to go into the film with some kind of mystery being intact, and J.J. Abrams is a guy who wouldn't really want to reveal most of things in the trailers. That's something which I like about him. A lot of times he holds back a little bit too much, so I think that we could have afforded to know that Benedict Cumberbatch was Khan in Star Trek. I think it was pretty obvious, and the fact that he just tried to make that a mystery sort of made it a little bit more obvious. But still, I like his element of surprise, I like his element of mystery, and I'm really excited for this film. Now on to Marvel. Now I'm going to talk very briefly about Doctor Strange, and the fact I'm just going to mention the fact that they showed some content off at D23. It wasn't footage, it was just concept art of what they intend for it to look like. It looks like it's going to be a crazy film. It looks like it's going to be something different to what we've seen before, even probably more radical than Guardians of the Galaxy. I'm interested to see how they're going to take it. Of course, they've got Benedict Cumberbatch on board, which is a fantastic actor. I'm looking forward to it. I heard earlier that they're eyeing Mads Mikkelsen to play the role of the antagonist in this film, and that would be a very good choice. I mean, the guy's just got a scary look to him. He's got a scary face. Anyway, that's enough for Doctor Strange. I'm going to move on to the big one, Civil War. Now, at D23, Civil War did release a trailer, but I mean, this thing's just been pulled offline so quickly. I don't think there's anywhere where you can actually view it online right now. But they're starting to release more and more Civil War things now, which leads me to believe that the trailer is probably not going to be too far away. They're saying it's going to be attached to Star Wars, and I believe that, but I believe that's the first trailer. We still got to have a teaser trailer in between now and December. I think we're probably going to see a teaser trailer within the next 2 months. So I mean, I wouldn't be too upset that the thing's not online yet, and also I'd probably advise that if somehow it does manage to find its way online, that you probably should just wait until the actual thing in high definition is released. Anyway, there's a few things to note about what I've heard about the Civil War trailer. So Thunderbolt Ross is back in it. He gives a speech at the start. If you don't know who he is, he was in the Incredible Hulk film. Another character we apparently see in the trailer is Crossbones. Now, Crossbones is a very interesting character, and you've actually already seen him. He's actually played by Frank Grillo in the last Winter Soldier film. At the very end, you can see him being taken away. He's heavily injured, and that will lead to him getting the mask put on. If you don't know what the mask looks like, there it is. But anyway, trust me, the character is a lot of fun. I don't think he's going to have a big part at all. Sort of similar to the one George St. Pierre has in the Winter Soldier, but still it'd be nice to see him back squaring off with Captain America. Also, we don't get to see Spider-Man in this trailer. They're still holding him off, and I wouldn't be surprised if they hold him off until a month before the release. They of course will show off Spider-Man because they want Spider-Man fans to go and see it, and the general movie audience knows who Spider-Man is, so they will show him in a trailer, even if very briefly, like they did with the Vision. Anyway, yesterday Marvel released 2 images. One of them I think was on Jeremy Renner's Instagram, the other one just got released. Iron Man's team consists of course Iron Man, Black Panther, Vision, Black Widow and War Machine. Captain America's team consists of Captain America, the Winter Soldier, Falcon, Hawkeye and Sharon Carter. Yeah, Sharon Carter is pretty useless in the scope of things compared to every other hero, but saying that, I did say that about Black Widow, and Marvel was able to do a lot with the character and actually make her well respected, so the same thing might be able to happen to Sharon Carter. Also, Ant-Man is on Captain America's team. You can just see him chilling on Captain America's shoulder. This is a really interesting picture though, it's a really good picture as well, but it does make me slightly worried in the sheer volume of characters that are in this film. I mean, that's 11 characters that are named just there. You've also got Thunderbolt Ross and Spider-Man and Crossbones, so that's 14 characters that they've got to establish in a film which is probably maximum going to be 3 hours long. Now, I don't mean to diss Marvel, and I don't want to be sceptical of them because they've always proven me wrong in the past. I was a big, firm believer that the Guardians of the Galaxy wasn't going to work, and happily I was really proved wrong because it's one of the Marvel Cinematic Universe's best films to date. But I'm just worried that the Russo brothers have taken on a little bit more than they can chew. I am worried that there are too many characters. You've also got to realise that you've got to establish Black Panther in this film. This is his first film. And also the Winter Soldier hasn't really had a talking role yet. I assume he's going to become an actual vital character in this film if they wanted to take over the mantle of Captain America one day. Of course, if you've read the Civil War graphic novel, you'll realise that a big incident occurs at the end. If you do know about this, I wouldn't be too upset. Personally, I don't think they're going to go down that route in the film, even though, of course, contract negotiations sort of make you believe that that might happen. Anyway, even if you do know what happens in the Civil War graphic novel, before going to watch The Winter Soldier, I knew that Vicar Barnes was the Winter Soldier, and it didn't ruin my enjoyment of the film at all. Anyway, this has been my Disney Roundup. I hope you've enjoyed it, I hope you found it insightful, and I will see you soon.